I was in the gym, in the shower, and all of a sudden I heard someone saying, "Why not go bald?" I am Marcel. I'm 30 years old, and 3 years ago I had my hair transplant, and it all started with a hair transplant. However, much more has changed than just having a full head of hair. Then there was a situation in the gym. I can still remember it very well. I was standing in the shower after training, and there was a guy looking at me. And then he said, "Hey, your hair, why not go bald?" And I stood there thinking to myself, wow. I mean, it sounds like a very simple sentence, but when you're dealing with the issue of hair loss and it's something that affects you every day, you will think to yourself, wow. That hit different, and I thought about it for so long. And then I did some more research on the subject of hair transplants. And I have realized that a hair transplant in Istanbul is super comfortable. It's not as complicated as I thought, and the price is also extremely favorable due to the fact that the hair transplant is in Turkey, and yes. Of course, I was skeptical at the beginning because a hair transplant abroad isn't something you are doing every day. And then I had the first consultation with Elithair, and I realized, wow, that sounds super serious. That sounds really good. And then I decided to have a hair transplant. It was also super spontaneous. I think it was a week before Christmas, and then I had a consultation with Elithair. I had my hair transplant on the first day of Christmas. The whole thing happened almost 3 years ago, and because I know how much I thought about having a hair transplant or not, I wanted to be of help to other people who are in the same position. That's why I decided to document the whole thing somehow. For other people who are in the same situation. So I started taking pictures and videos and sharing them on Instagram and YouTube. And little by little, the first feedback came directly from like-minded people who were in a similar situation. They started writing me messages, started posting pictures, and asking for my opinion what I think of their hair loss and whether I would recommend a hair transplant to them, what my experiences are and how it felt, if it was painful or whether it was relaxed, whether I would do it again. And to get this kind of feedback, that made me so happy and triggered so much emotion in me that I thought, wow, it helps people a lot more than I initially thought, and that changed a lot in my life. I have reached so many people now with my videos, and yes, I can still remember the first video of someone who also suffered from hair loss. He then sent me a video of his hair loss and said, "Hey, I'm flying to Elithair because of you. I'm flying to Istanbul now." I wouldn't have dared before. And that was, wow. I thought, how is that possible? How can that be, that I can help people so much based on my own experience with hair loss? That was so unrealistic for me. In the end, I wasn't only taking care of my own hair. I got to know so many people, accompany them on their way to full hair, and see for myself what their own experience was like and how they became happier. That is something very special. Of course, a lot has changed for me too. I mean, I don't have to worry in the morning anymore what the weather is like outside. Before that, I was afraid when it was raining or windy outside. I knew if it's windy or raining outside, today will be a bad day. Because then I will most definitely have a bad hair day. In the meantime, I no longer worry about how my hair looks. I'll just go out without doing my hair because I just feel so much better. I don't need an extra half hour in the bathroom either. I just go out and I feel good, even when my hair isn't done. And in the first few months, a lot of people approached me and asked me about my hair and the growth of my hair in particular. That was such a good feeling. I can't even describe it. That was really good. And that's still beautiful. It makes life much easier. It's just an ease. I feel more free and I can finally enjoy life to the fullest. Yeah, I think that describes it best. And also it affects every area of my life in a positive way. I think that's also quite clear. So if you feel limited by your hair loss, or get into an unpleasant situation from time to time, then I recommend getting some professional consultation from the experts.